Imagine this. Two people eat the exact same meal, same plate, same portion, same ingredients, but one of them experiments a massive spike in blood sugar, while the other stays relatively stable. So, how is that even possible? Because when it's come to blood sugar, it's not just about the food. It's about the context. It's about timing. It's about combination, and it's about what's happening inside your body long before you even take a single bite. And today, here at Wake Up Curiosity, we are going to understand something most people never truly learn. Why some foods can help to control blood sugar, but only if you use them correctly. So, let's start with something simple but powerful. Most people think diabetes is just about eating too much sugar, but that's not the full story. Type 2 diabetes is a metabolic disorder, a slow progressive breakdown of how your body handles energy. At the center of all of this is insulin. Every time you eat carbs, your body breaks down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream, and insulin acts like a key allowing that glucose to enter in your cells. But over time, especially with modern diets full of refined carbs and ultra-processed foods like McDonald's, for example, your cells start responding properly. This is insulin resistance. At first, your body compensates, it produces more insulin more and more, but eventually, your pancreas can't keep it up. The beta cells, the ones responsible for producing insulin, start to lose function. And when that happens, glucose begins to accumulate in your bloodstream chronically. That's when we call type 2 diabetes. Now, here's the things get interesting. Because once you understand this, you will realize it's something very important. Food doesn't just rise or lower blood sugar. Food interacts with your body. It affects digestion, hormones, inflammation, even the function of your pancreatic cells. So let's break it down. One of the most powerful tools you have is something incredibly simple, fiber. But not just any fiber, woven fiber. Found in foods like oats, chia seeds, lentils, and beans. This type of fiber behaves very different inside your body. When it reaches your digestive system, it forms a gel like a sticky substance, and that gel slows everything down. Carb absorption becomes gradual instead of a spike. You get a smoother curve. This reduces blood sugar peaks, insulin demand, and low-time metabolic distress. Think of like this, okay? Instead of flooding your system with glucose, you are releasing it slowly over time, and that alone can make a huge difference. Now let's go deeper. Because some compounds don't just slow glucose, they actually improve how your body handles it. One of the most studied examples is curcumin. Curcumin is an active compound found in turmeric, and unlike many health trends, this actually one has a solid clinical evidence behind it. In a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial with over 200 patients diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, research followed participants for 12 months, and what they found was remarkable, because compared to the placebo group, those taking curcumin showed a lot of difference. For example, lower fasting glucose levels, reduced HbA1c levels, decreased insulin resistance, improved beta cell function, and even reduction of body weight. Those things are impressive, which means wasn't just about lowering sugar temporarily, it was improving underlying metabolic dysfunction. And here's something even more interesting, because curcumin also appears to influence inflammation, and inflammation is one of the most hidden drivers of insulin resistance. So now we are not just talking about the food, we are talking about how the certain compounds can influence our entire metabolic pathways. But again, this does not mean you can just take a curcumin and ignore everything else, because context still matters. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever added something healthy to a bad diet and expected it to fix everything? No? Well, you're probably lying to me. Because they hear about cinnamon and so they sprinkle it on sugar and drinks. They hear about apple cider vinegar so they take it but continue eating poorly. And then they wonder why nothing changed. Because here's the truth, not a single food can override a bad metabolic environment. This is where everything comes together because one of the most powerful tools for controlling blood sugar is not removing foods, it's combining them gently. Because let's go back to our earlier example. Eating carbs alone leads to rapid glucose absorption, but when you combine those same carbs with protein and fat, everything changes. Digestion slows down, glucose enters the bloodstream more gradually, insulin spikes are reduced. Same calories, same foods, different outcome. That's powerful. This is why foods like almonds and walnuts can have such a positive effect. They don't spike blood sugar and they help stabilize the response of those foods. Protein does the same things, egg, chicken, fish. They reduce glycemic impact and improve satiety, which means you are less likely to overeat later. Now let's talk about something most people overlook, micronutrients. Foods like spinach and other leafy greens are rich in magnesium and antioxidants, and magnesium plays a key role in insulin sensitivity. Low magnesium levels have been associated with higher risks of type 2 diabetes. So again, we are seeing how food is not just the food, it's information and tells your body how to function. And finally, but not least, we have to talk about consistency, because no one of these works if you only do it occasionally. You can eat perfectly one day and ignoring everything the next. Metabolism is built over time, okay? Every meal is either moving you toward to better control or further away from it. Even something simple as a coffee can be beneficial or harmful depending on how you use it. Black coffee, excellent, potential benefits. Coffee loaded with sugar and syrups, completely different story, man. And you know that, but you're still ignoring it. Same brain, different outcome. So, after everything we covered, here's the truth. There is not a miracle food, but there is a smarter way to eat. A way that works with your biology instead of against it. If you remember one thing from this video, let it be this. It's not just the way you eat, it's how you eat it. Because when you understand that, you stop guessing and you start making decisions that actually improve your health. And that is what truly changes your blood sugar. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.